something that's clearly deemed as edible, do it slowly. Take a little piece. Don't blend a smoothie out of it and then just cross your fingers and hope you don't have a reaction. This is new food that goes into our system, and like all new food, it should just be approached cautiously. Yeah? Never mix wild edibles when you're doing it at first. So if you're making a salad with 15 edibles and you get some kind of hives or allergic reaction, you won't know which one it came from. So one at a time until you're sure that it's safe. Are we with me so far?
Yes.
The other thing to consider is that you have 5 senses, and I hope that you use all 5 of them when you're out there. If we line them up on a continuum, first of all, what are the 5 senses? Taste, smell, hearing, and touch, right? If we were to line them up on a continuum, taste should be last. So first, we're given our eyesight. What does it look like? And you're gonna just look and experiment. What does it look like? Does it have green leaves? Is it something that I want to put in my mouth? Like when I look at a brick, I know right away it's not edible. And no research that anybody does will conclude that it's edible, because I know I'll break my teeth. And then after eyesight, my hands reach out. If I'm not sure if it's edible, I feel the brick, and then I definitely know that it's not going to go into my mouth, yeah? And after that, you have smell, right? What does it smell like? Some plants smell really pleasant. They make you salivate. Some plants smell kind of like dirt. Over time, that will make you salivate. Other plants smell really strong. Almost like you smell them and you want to get them away from your face. I've found that generally poisonous plants, plants that I don't want to eat, have a very strong smell. If we never smell the plant and just go for it, there's the risk of getting poisoned. If we smell like poison hemlock, for example, and we get that really strong sensation, we just steered clear of an accident, right? Now, smell varies for different people. Some people think hemlock smells sweet, although that's really rare. Most authors equate hemlock to smell like rotting flesh. Right? So that's enough for most of us to say, I don't want to eat that. The next one is hearing. The Native Americans would say, listen to your inner voice. Listen to the plant. What I kind of interpret that as is listen to your intuition. Maybe go over the other steps again. Or just think about, does it look like something that I'm accustomed to eating? Because a lot of plants that we buy at the grocery store once were wild. So as we talk about dandelions, you can start seeing a resemblance between them and lettuce. So maybe that's something to think about. Maybe think about whether the leaves are tender. Kind of listen to yourself, yeah? And then the last one is taste. And some people interpret this as like, okay, well I did the 4 steps, now I just pile it in my mouth and cross my fingers and hope for the best. You take a little piece and you put it on the very under the tip of your tongue, or even rub it on your lips. And if you feel any irritation, any burning or discomfort, probably don't want to go any further. Now there are some exceptions like onion and spicy pepper. But if you're not sure of what a plant is and you're kind of curious, you don't have your phone or your book with you, and you just want to know, you do all the tests, you put it on under your tongue or on your lip, and if it doesn't burn, it's probably safe enough to consume in a small amount. So then you can maybe eat a leaf and see how you feel. It's a very slow, gradual process, but it is rewarding in the end. When we hiked from Mexico to Canada, we didn't know a whole lot about plants. My mom and dad knew a few wild edibles, they knew some mushrooms, and we had a 6-month hike ahead of us. And we were hiking almost 4,000 kilometers. So we met this hippie guy, and he taught us this test, how to use our 5 senses and figure out what if something is poisonous or edible, and we started slowly figuring stuff out. And when we'd go through town, we'd look in a wild edible book at a library and confirm that that was, in fact, edible. I actually wanted to know how many poisonous plants are there. And that's a very, very convoluted question because depending on who you ask, the numbers vary. So if you ask a botanist, somebody who has studied toxicology, he says thousands of plants. If you ask Native Americans, they say 0 plants. I'm kind of more leaning towards the Native American side because toxicologists, they look at the alkaloids in plants, which we learned about, and every plant is going to have some kind of toxic substance in small amounts in it, right? Toxicologists, actually, there's a book written about poisonous weeds where mint is classified as poisonous, just to give you an example. Does that mean we shouldn't ever eat mint? Yeah. So, I did the research. I finally just started compiling my own and figured out through visiting various sources for poison control that there are roughly about 150 poisonous plants worldwide that are extremely poisonous. That's not a very large number considering there's literally thousands of plants. So I studied it even further and found that only about 50 of those are really, really poisonous. 100 of those, 150, might give you really bad diarrhea or make you throw up, but will not kill you. And there's only 50 plants that have the potential to kill you. And that's worldwide. So if you consider Australia, you might only have 30 of those 50, right? Well, you know, it is, but also if you learn one poisonous plant every single day, in a month you'll know all of them. And that's kind of the route I took where I'm from, because I wanted to know first what I couldn't eat, and then if I accidentally made a mistake, at least it wouldn't be deadly. And how I did this, I went on the internet and I said, "Hello Google, most poisonous plants of Southern Oregon." And I got a nice list with pictures for free. Yeah? So I hung that list up in the bathroom, in the washroom, and every time I was pooping, and I poop a lot because I eat good food, I would study one of those plants. Yeah? So, it's good self-brainwashing there.
What did you Google?
Just most poisonous plants of your area. So it'd be like most poisonous plants of Gold Coast, or most poisonous plants of Australia. And you get some really good resources. Maybe even go visit the poison control website. They have some good resources. In my app, there's 71 edible, soon to be more. There's 10 poisonous plants, and those are like the most poisonous plants that kind of grow all over. So 10 really good ones to know. That's a start.